Leviathan, the serpent of the deep in Bible and traditions. Have you ever wondered about the ancient creature Leviathan? Is it a literal sea monster, or does it carry a deeper meaning in the Bible and other ancient texts? This video explores the identity, symbolism, and theological significance of Leviathan across different scriptures and traditions. By analyzing Leviathan in biblical texts, ancient Near Eastern mythology, apocryphal writings, and later interpretations, we aim to uncover the creature's role in shaping our understanding of chaos, evil, and divine sovereignty. We'll examine myths from Ugaritic and Babylonian traditions, where sea serpents symbolize primordial chaos. We'll also explore later Jewish, Christian, and modern theological views to understand how Leviathan reflects humanity's struggle with forces beyond our control. First of all, what is Leviathan? Leviathan is more than just a sea monster. It's a powerful symbol of chaos, evil, and cosmic conflict that spans across multiple cultures. In many traditions, Leviathan represents the destructive forces that stand in opposition to divine order, making it a central figure in eschatological themes. The creature's defeat often signifies God's ultimate victory over evil, and its symbolic weight transcends religious boundaries. Let's begin with the Old Testament. In the book of Job, particularly Job 3, 8 and 41, 134, Leviathan is described as an untamable sea monster, symbolizing God's power over creation. Job 41 highlights that only God has dominion over this fearsome creature, emphasizing humanity's helplessness in the face of divine majesty. Psalm 74, 13-14 introduces Leviathan as a multi-headed sea serpent, which God defeats in a cosmic battle, asserting his power over chaos. This passage reflects God's ability to overcome evil, reinforcing divine sovereignty. Psalm 104, 26 presents a gentler image of Leviathan, frolicking in the sea. This portrayal invites us to consider Leviathan's dual nature, both terrifying and part of God's good creation. It suggests that even chaotic elements can serve a divine purpose, encouraging us to reflect on the balance between chaos and order in God's creation. If this exploration into the mysteries of Leviathan is captivating you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more intriguing insights. We're aiming for 100,000 subscribers this year, and your support means the world to us. Now, let's explore the etymology and symbolism of Leviathan. The name Leviathan comes from the Hebrew root Leviathan, which may derive from the words twisted or coiled, reflecting the creature's serpentine nature. The name itself evokes images of a twisting, unpredictable force, one that resists control or understanding. This etymology links Leviathan to chaos and disorder, reinforcing its symbolic role as a threat to divine order. The twisted, coiled nature of the name may also suggest a creature that is not only dangerous but complex, embodying the mystery of the unknown. In some cultures, Leviathan is often described as a dragon, sea serpent, crocodile, or mythical creature, depending on the interpretation. Its physical form varies across cultures, but it consistently represents a monstrous being that embodies chaos and destruction. In many traditions, Leviathan's size and strength make it an unbeatable force, one that threatens the very fabric of creation. As a creature associated with the sea, it also evokes the primordial dangers of the deep, a place where human beings cannot venture safely. This portrayal suggests that Leviathan is not merely an animal, but a symbol of the untamable forces that exist in the world. As we dive deeper, let's explore the symbolic interpretations of Leviathan in different cultures. Christians. In many religious traditions, Leviathan is seen as a symbol of chaos, evil empires, or even Satan. In Christian theology, it is often associated with the ultimate enemy of God, embodying the forces of darkness that seek to undermine divine order. Some interpretations even see Leviathan as a metaphor for death, the abyss, or the destructive power of sin. The creature's terrifying nature becomes a representation of the unknown and uncontrollable aspects of life, where evil seems to reign. However, understanding Leviathan also invites us to consider the broader struggle between order and chaos, and the divine promise of ultimate victory over evil. Ugaritic mythology. In Ugaritic mythology, the sea serpent Lotan plays a role similar to Leviathan, representing the forces of chaos that the storm god Baal must defeat. Lotan is described as having 7 heads, a feature that parallels the multi-headed serpentine images of Leviathan in the Bible. This myth reflects the common ancient theme of gods battling monstrous creatures to establish cosmic order. The defeat of Lotan by Baal mirrors the biblical narrative of God's victory over Leviathan, symbolizing divine power over chaos. The similarities between these traditions suggest that the figure of Leviathan was deeply rooted in the cultural imagination of the ancient Near East. Babylonian myth, Tiamat. In Babylonian mythology, Tiamat is a sea goddess who embodies primordial chaos, much like Leviathan in the Bible. Tiamat's defeat by the god Marduk is a central story in the Enuma Elish, where the victory represents the establishment of order from chaos. Like Leviathan, Tiamat's defeat signifies the triumph of divine sovereignty over disorder and evil. The battle between Marduk and Tiamat shares striking parallels with the biblical cosmic battles where God defeats chaotic forces. These shared themes highlight the universal significance of Leviathan as a symbol of cosmic conflict and divine triumph. Egyptian and Canaanite myths. In Egyptian and Canaanite myths, serpent-like deities and creatures of the deep also play key roles in cosmogonic and eschatological narratives. These beings often represent the forces of chaos that threaten to disrupt creation. For example, in Egyptian mythology, the serpent Apophis battles the sun god Ra, symbolizing the eternal struggle between order and chaos. Similarly, Canaanite traditions feature serpent-like monsters that challenge divine authority. These myths, like those of Leviathan, illustrate a common cultural understanding of serpents and sea creatures as embodiments of chaos. Now that we've explored Leviathan's role across different traditions, stick with me as we dive deeper into its fascinating symbolism in modern theology and literature. You'll be surprised at how this ancient creature continues to shape our world today. The video would not be complete without exploring Leviathan in apocryphal and pseudepigraphal writings. 1 Enoch and 2 Esdras. In the apocryphal texts of 1 Enoch and 2 Esdras, Leviathan is depicted as a female sea monster, reserved for destruction at the end of time. Alongside Behemoth, her land counterpart, Leviathan plays a key role in eschatological narratives, symbolizing God's ultimate victory over chaos. These texts highlight both the symbolic and literal significance of Leviathan, tied to the fate of the world at the end of days. The idea that the righteous will feast on Leviathan emphasizes its role in divine judgment and redemption, adding mystery and anticipation to its story. Apocalypse of Abraham. In the Apocalypse of Abraham, Leviathan is depicted as a dwelling for demonic or chaotic spirits, symbolizing evil and spiritual decay. This contrasts with other depictions that emphasize its power and majesty, instead highlighting its association with darkness and opposition to God's plan. This interpretation underscores Leviathan's complex nature as both a literal creature and a symbol of spiritual peril. Non-canonical Jewish writings. Various non-canonical Jewish writings also connect Leviathan and Behemoth to messianic feasts, pointing to the ultimate defeat of chaos and the restoration of divine order. In some traditions, Leviathan is the final enemy to be vanquished, marking the arrival of a new age. This theme of divine victory over chaos continues to shape modern theological interpretations of Leviathan. Rabbinic and early Jewish interpretations. Leviathan's role in Jewish thought is multifaceted, with early rabbinic texts offering various interpretations. According to the Talmud, Leviathan was created on the 5th day of creation for God's ultimate purpose. The Midrash expands on this, noting that Leviathan's fate is tied to the end times, where it will be slain by God. Jewish traditions suggest its flesh will be used to prepare a banquet for the righteous in the world to come, emphasizing Leviathan's symbolic role in God's plan for redemption. Rabbinic teachings often view Leviathan allegorically, associating it with the Yetzer Hara, or the evil inclination. In these interpretations, Leviathan represents destructive impulses within humanity. Mystical traditions like Kabbalah further deepen this symbolism, seeing Leviathan as a representation of divine mystery and judgment. These interpretations reflect the ongoing tension between good and evil, with Leviathan serving as both a literal and symbolic opponent in the cosmic battle. Leviathan in Jewish traditions invites reflection on deeper spiritual themes, reminding believers of God's sovereignty and the ultimate victory over evil. Whether as a sea monster or a symbol of inner moral struggles, its presence challenges believers to examine their relationship with the divine. Its role in eschatological prophecies highlights its significance in Jewish theology and messianic hope, inspiring ongoing study within the faith. Leviathan in modern theology and literature. In modern culture, Leviathan has evolved beyond its biblical roots, becoming a symbol in literature and the arts. Thomas Hobbes's work Leviathan uses the creature as a metaphor for sovereign power, emphasizing the need for a strong central authority. In contemporary literature and cinema, Leviathan often represents chaos and tyranny, symbolizing unchecked power and evoking fear in the face of overwhelming forces. Theological discussions today question whether Leviathan is a literal creature, a myth, or a metaphor for evil. Some theologians suggest it could have been based on a real, now extinct creature, while others view it purely as a symbol of destruction and chaos. These interpretations continue to explore the tension between myth and reality, reflecting on the creature's relevance in understanding divine sovereignty over evil and suffering. Leviathan's depiction has also sparked scientific curiosity, with theories suggesting it could have been based on animals like crocodiles or whales. However, these ideas remain speculative, as there is little concrete evidence to support them. Despite this, Leviathan's metaphorical impact remains a powerful tool for understanding the cosmic battle between order and chaos. In summary, Leviathan is more than just a monstrous sea creature. It's a symbol deeply rooted in both physical and theological realms. From the biblical text to ancient myths and modern interpretations, it embodies chaos, evil, and the ultimate triumph of divine sovereignty. Leviathan's defeat serves as a powerful reminder of God's victory over chaos, darkness, and evil. Its presence in both eschatological and creation narratives underscores the eternal battle between divine order and destructive forces. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends who are fascinated by biblical mysteries and ancient symbols. Make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into fascinating topics. Let's hit that 100,000 subscribers milestone together this year.